They say they don't make them like they used to. Well, I've been around since the used to part over 40 years. Yes, a lot of that old stuff was reliable back in the 1980s when I started, but some of the new stuff is better in almost every way. Yet people like you are more frustrated than ever. I'll show you why and how to buy the right appliance brands for your next house or build. Best washing machine you could ever buy in the 40 years I've been at Yale was the old Maytag. Simple, built in Newton, Iowa. Front serviceable, the one weak spot was the belt and anyone could change it. My mom had one growing up, still running 18 years later when we finally moved out of our house. But here's the catch. That machine only held about 2.5 cubic feet once you took out the volume of the agitator. It used a ton of water and energy. By the way, that matters in Massachusetts. You should check your electric bill. A front loader today holds nearly double and uses about half the water and energy. So that trade went your way. But there's a different trade hiding in every appliance you'll buy today. That's the one that should concern you, and we'll get to that later. When I grew up, the biggest refrigerator you could buy was the top mounted man at about 23 cubic feet. My grandmother had a Whirlpool French door in the 70s at about 19 cubic feet. Today, you can routinely buy French door units up to 30 cubic feet. It's a bigger box. And thanks to the new energy laws, it uses far less power than the ones in the 70s and 80s. But here's the catch. The top mount had almost nothing to break. It was a refrigerator, freezer, and glass shelves. The modern French door has through-the-door ice and water systems and other electronics. That's the part that needs a tech. More features sometimes means more to go wrong. And that's the whole problem, and I'll show you what it really is at the end. Dishwashers are fundamentally better today. Our old KitchenAid was built by Hobart, a commercial manufacturer. It lasted seemingly forever. And that's what my dad bought back then, a KitchenAid for the dishwasher, Maytag for the laundry, the best you could find, and they lasted. But it wasn't built to be quiet, and it wasn't built to be water efficient. Then in the 1990s, kitchens opened up into the living room, and all of a sudden, quiet was a feature. The new ones, Bosch and Miele and others, use a lot less water, and you can't hear them even in an open kitchen. And they hold up pretty well. On dishwashers, you're going to like what you buy a lot better than what we sold you in the 70s and 80s. So notice this. The problem is not the product, especially in dishwashers. Now ranges. When I started, a nice range meant white. The big move was white on white, no black accents. Back then you bought a 30-inch range and maybe a 36 if you wanted a heater inside it. Then there was this awful looking 40-inch range. Today you can buy 36, 48, and even 60-inch ranges, different colors, different configurations, far more choose than there ever was. Then Viking showed up around 1990. Ranges got better to cook on and better to look at. And the output isn't close. My mom's old caloric topped out at around 8,000 BTUs. Pro gas burners now routinely run 22 to 25,000 BTUs. And now there's an induction, which wasn't available back then. No waiting like the old days. Cooking is by far better now than it ever was. What you can buy at Yale now is light years ahead of what my dad and grandfather sold you 40 to 80 years ago. So here's the question. All this size, all these features, all these colors. Then why is everybody, including you, so unhappy? Because the biggest change in buying appliances is one you never saw. And neither did I. Whirlpool, GE, Maytag, KitchenAid, all of them had huge service operations behind them. Around 1990, that started to change. All this innovation came at the cost of service and support, and here's why. These companies decided bigger BTUs, bigger refrigerators, quieter dishwashers were the reasons you bought their appliances, so they made more of that. Then they cut the service and support nobody thought they'd need. It got so bad in 1990, we built our own service department from scratch. Today, it's by far the biggest part of our company. We handled 33,190 service calls last year and 17,481 in the first half of this year alone. And that's just in a small area of Eastern New England. And we only take our own customers. That's how far factory service has fallen. Because service doesn't drive your purchase decision, or so they thought. Now, it's about interesting products. So support is the item that loses resource, and you're the one who pays for it. That's what all the online complaints are really about. The product isn't really the problem. Problems were always there. They just used to get fixed. Now, in most parts of the country, they don't. And that's true of almost any brand you'll buy. So the job is on you now. 50 years ago, your grandparents made one call to the factory and a tech came right out. That doesn't happen anymore. If you want to buy appliances and be happy, search the service in your area first before features. Find out who actually shows up. Then you buy the brand that company will stand behind. A few companies still do it, and a few brands are still worth buying. If you want to see the most reliable brands we sell ranked by service rating, that's the next video. Thanks for watching, and if this helped, hit the like and subscribe button because it really helps the channel.